What is good, y'all? Excuse me. Let me just get situated right here. Y'all. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. We got some breaking news to cover tonight. About Skinny Me. Excuse me. I'm just getting situated. Couple technical difficulties. But I'm getting situated. You heard? Everybody go ahead, hit that like button, share this video. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let's get this joint going. You already know who I am, Mikey T, the movie star. We got to talk about Lil Durk tonight. We got to talk about Skinny Me tonight. What is good? Hit that like button, share this video when you tap in. Had a little technical glitch a few minutes ago. But I'm back at it. You know, I'm in a new location tonight, undisclosed location. Don't worry about where I'm at tonight, guys. Let's focus on the content. Tonight, you guys. What is poppin', Eric? What up, Tommy? What up, Loso? What up, Peasy? Appreciate everybody tapping in. The early dudes up in the video. Not to take my guy Aaron Riff shit, the early birds as he calls them. What up, Gerald? Appreciate you. Everybody hit that like button when you tap in here. We got some breaking news on Skinny Me tonight. Tonight we're talking about Skinny Me, AR Rab's affiliate, AR Rab's one of his main artists. I mean, he had a couple different main artists, you know what I'm saying? He had like 3-4 different main artists. Skinny Me was one of the most prolific, though. I'm not going to take anything away from Skinny Me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Skinny Me is doing, hundreds of thousands of views on a lot of his different content says a lot about the interest level. But tonight we unfortunately got to talk about the fact that he's been sentenced. We got to talk about the fact that Skinny Me has been sentenced, you guys. Some pretty crazy numbers. We're going to get into it, We're going to get into it tonight. Definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. You know what to do. Let me know what city and state you're in here from. Let me know what you're smoking on, and let me know how you feel about the situation. Everybody keep Skinny Me in your prayers as well. The jump off topic. Tonight we're talking about Lil Durk. We're talking about Lil Durk tonight as well, because we all heard a couple months back after the YSL indictment, that there was going to be more indictments coming out of Atlanta, right? There was a lot of speculation surrounding several different camps. And we all remember the situation that Lil Durk and King Von went through in 2009, back when they were touring heavy. And at this point, it was not just the popularity of Durk. King Von had started, like I told you guys, I witnessed the two of them come out to Connecticut. Lil Durk came out to Connecticut, brought King Von, let King Von do his thing on the stage. I witnessed it. King Von came back to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? He made an impact. So, Lil Durk's whole situation from that 2019 incident has actually unfolded. Let's get into this post before I get into my thoughts, as well as Durk's interview with the newspaper, as well as Durk's song where he addressed the incident. It said, "This office has declined to indict Durk Banks, aka Lil Durk, for the February 5th, 2019 incident because insufficient evidence exists to prove his guilt beyond reasonable doubt at trial. If co-defendant Davion Bennett, aka King Von, had not died in 2020, he would have been indicted for this incident. As stated in the motion declining to indict Mr. Banks, the Atlanta Police Department had evidence to establish probable cause to arrest him." That standard of proof, however, is considerably lower than the beyond a reasonable doubt standard of proof required at trial, which the evidence in the case does not meet. I mean, it's called self-defense, though, guys. Am I right? It's called self-defense. Atlanta is the shit in this type of situation. It's the best place. Atlanta is literally the best place to catch a body. Atlanta, Florida. Let's just be real. I'm just keeping it a buck. The most lenient gun laws, they got the most lenient gun laws. They got the best. You can pop somebody, bond out, it's whatever. Georgia's Superior Court, the Fulton County, issued a motion to actually dismiss the charges, where the district attorney said the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that the probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, of course, they're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to solidify their reasoning for actually bringing them in and arresting them. You know, we did our thing. We were doing the right thing when we arrested these guys for defending themselves. All right. You know, the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute. This happens sometimes, though. Rarely, you know what I mean? Atlanta, it's like the wild, wild west. It's cowboys and Indians over there. You know what I'm saying? 2 holsters, 1 gun on the right hip, 1 gun on your left hip. That's how ATL gives it up, y'all. That's how ATL gives it up. It's nothing like Philly. It's nothing like New York. It's a lot different, man. Yeah, I said it, man. I said it. Atlanta and Florida don't apply. They play by a different set of rules, everyone. If I lived in Florida and Atlanta, man, listen, I'd be 15 times more reckless than you think I am now. So the attorney, Manny, he offered a statement to celebrate the decision. While it took 3 years for the state to make the right decision, in the end, the right decision was made, and Mr. Banks can finally put this event behind him. It's attempted, for crying out loud. It's an attempted. You know, now the burden of proof is on you to prove it, right? The burden of proof is on you, not me. Don't ask me shit. Don't ask me nothing. No comment. I plead the fifth. I'm sorry, I don't recall. I'm playing the game. Step up your shit. This right now, it is on you. And that's why you want to, you know what I'm saying? That you want to keep wasting taxpayers' dollars? Go ahead. We ready. What's up? This shit, it ain't on me. You want to continue this thing? 3 years? You had a weak case. You had a weak case. Durk beat the indictment. You took over 3 years to prove an attempt. Y'all are weak, man. I'm just being real. King Von was reportedly charged with, King Von and Durk were reportedly charged with criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you guys, if they were coming at King Von with this, he would have more than likely been fried. Let's just be real. He would have more than likely been fried with these charges, even in a state like that. You know what I mean? You seen what happened to Young Thug. We see what's happening to Gunna. Gunna denied bond for the 4th time, right? That was Atlanta state. They fried him because then the burden of proof would have been on King Von to say that he didn't and that he would have been, you know what I'm saying? And that would have been a headache. You know what I mean? Just reading that list of charges honestly gave me a headache. Personally, man, you know, I just believe it would have been really hard for King Von to beat those charges, even with money being put behind him by Lil Durk. because then they would have been looking at Durk crazy. Durk putting up $2 million so Von could beat this case. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe, you know what I'm saying? I do believe that Lil Durk would have put up any amount of money for King Von to beat these charges. So, you know, that's just a whole laundry list that they have on these guys right here. It's a freaking laundry list. But there's going to be a lot of fans out there, you know what I mean? A lot of Von fans out there who disagree. But I call it how I see it. I mean, in all honesty, my guy Domination, he got 18 years for gang activity. So just reading some of those charges in there, you know, they all do carry pretty high, you know what I mean, terms in prison. It's not a joke, you know what I mean? It would have canned his whole career. The list I read, you know what I mean? If a Christmas tree wish list, you know what I mean? It's a Christmas tree wish list of charges for the feds, for the police. Durk would have still had a better shot because why? Because I didn't hear the word conspiracy in there. Lil Durk, before he turned himself in, he did an interview with the news. He did an interview with WSR TV. Nice move, Durk. What guilty person would interview with a news station? That just goes to show you right there that he has nothing to hide. He's talking to the news reporters. He's an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? He's here to talk news. You think this guy would attempt to do anything, you know what I mean, to actually end and jeopardize his career? You know what I'm saying? Do you guys think that King Von would have talked to the news? Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's because when you feel like you have nothing to hide, why not talk to the news? Durk flew right back to Atlanta after he learned he was wanted and after he learned he had to turn himself in. What do we call that? What do we call that, you guys? It is a good faith measure. The courts, they like that. Oh, we didn't have to go looking for you and wasting money. You didn't barricade yourself in a house and get hostage negotiators to come out. Let's be real, man. Let's look at this situation the real way. Share this video one time. Share this video one time if you support the channel. Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. We got some real shit to talk about tonight. We got some real shit to talk about tonight, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. You know who it is. You know what you're watching. This is the Mikey T, the Movie Star Podcast. This is the Mikey T, the Movie Star Podcast. There we go. There we go. Yeah, go check out my interview with RJ Payne if you haven't seen it. So like I was saying, Durk literally flew back to Atlanta after he learned he was wanted and had to turn himself in. That is a good faith measure. You know what I mean? The courts like that type of shit. We didn't have to go looking for this guy. We didn't have to go wasting money. You know what I'm saying? In Sue Surf's case, they made it seem like he barricaded himself in his house. It made it seem like they had to go out and get hostage and crisis negotiators, you know what I mean, to get him to actually come out. Lil Durk, this guy, he's all right, they're probably thinking. Already in the eyes of the law, you did the right thing, Lil Durk. The case would have been a lot different if he had done some goofy shit and, you know what I mean, and didn't face this thing head on. Guys, I just call it like I see it. It has nothing to do with me liking the music. It's the individual. Guess what? The court doesn't listen to their music. Trust me when I tell you. You know what I'm saying? They're not fans of King Von. They're not fans of Lil Durk. None of those people in the courtroom are running around bumping no Lil Durk albums. None of the people in that courtroom are running around bumping no King Von. They're not listening to Welcome to the O. I'm just being, trust me when I tell you that. So they don't know him. They only know what he portrays and how he carries himself. And he's doing the right things. Even the media is using the words. He moved swiftly. Even the media is helping him, and he's talking to the media. That's great. So now even the news reporters are thinking, this guy's not such a bad guy. Durk said, we found out we had a warrant. Durk said, we found out we had a warrant. We was on tour. Once I found out, I immediately came back. We immediately canceled the tour. Durk was asked, did you shoot this man? He replied, no. So his whole situation, it's like, so I have a tour going on. I have money to make. The average person would say, the tour is going on. Lil Durk actually stopped it. This proves good intent. You know what I'm saying? A guilty person doesn't stop a tour, especially if they know they're guilty. I'm going to make as much money off this tour as I can. Why? Because I need lawyers. He knew he didn't do this shit. F this tour. Let's go there tomorrow. 7 a.m. flight? Let's get the quickest flight we can. Let's go there as early as we can. Let's get this shit done as soon as possible so I can get back to my tour. Because of what? Because I'm a businessman. As Whack 100 would say, a businessman. Turning Myself In was the record. Durk actually released a song right when he turned himself in. This kind of was like when Troy Ave got locked up and released a mixtape. And then he obviously had all the songs recorded, but he did a new freestyle over the phone. So Durk actually capitalized, releasing a song called Turn Myself In. Wasn't really so big on the lyrics of it. He said, look up at the judge, can't look, state making up lies for sure. I'm an innocent man for sure. It is what it is for sure. You know what I'm saying? So Durk's all in the flow though. You know what I'm saying? You really can't judge it just based off reading the lyrics. It's really all in the flow with a lot of these rappers, you guys. But basically, they're lucky. You know what I mean? Listen with false accusation. Why they name dropping? Basically, you guys, they're lucky. They're lucky he didn't countersue for defamation. Durk's got money now. What do you mean I had nothing to do with this shit? Why are you dragging my name in the dirt? I'm a civilian, not a gang member. I'm on tour currently. Why are you dragging my name into this fuck shit? Again, it's something an innocent person would say. He lost 0 sleep. I heard the charges. There was no conspiracy. He lost no sleep because he's like, this is all they got. I'm goods. Let's get this shit cleared up ASAP. I'll be back to business. I ain't sweating it. Realistically, I'd have to believe this. You know what I mean? This is what Durk was probably feeling. And now the charges are dropped, just like him and his lawyer knew they would be from day one. These charges are getting dropped. This is all that they got. The burden of proof is on them. They've got to do it. The ball is in our court. Don't worry about it, Durk. Sorry about that, Durk. You'll be on tour soon. But follow my lead, and Durk did exactly what his lawyer, his legal team said. Durk has been through these situations before when he's been at house parties, cops come in, find guns on him. You know what I mean? He's been locked up and his career has been threatened in multiple situations, you guys. So Durk right now is good. I'm really glad that these charges aren't going to affect him moving on. Durk is the superstar of our generation. I believe that, you guys. I really do believe that. And now we got to talk about Skinny Me. We got to talk about Skinny Me. Let's talk about the bro Skinny Me. Let's talk about Skinny Me. So there are some Skinny Me lyrics that I want to read off of his song with Little Johnny. It's called Bloodo. The hook is bloody. I get bloody for my bloodos. Broad day, I'll shoot you, take your head like Medusa. Another line I picked out of there was, we riding reckless, told bras don't hit the brakes at all. No brakes, bras, a member of OBH who is currently locked up based on the OBH indictment. Another lyric, he had said, me and Johnny play murder games like Jigsaw, referencing another OBH member, Lil Johnny. Salute to my guy. He's got a lot of buzz around him right now. He was a close friend of Skinny Me. They actually made a lot of music together. He referenced the movie Saw, Jigsaw there. Also, he said, so this is the full lyric. Me and Johnny play murder games like Jigsaw. My last murder was brutal. Not to mention, it's unsolved. So a lyric right there, you know what I mean? We've seen lyrics from Skinny Me actually used in A.R. Rab's case as well. Guys, I got to be brutally honest about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling really bad for Skinny Me. I'm feeling really bad for the friends and the family and everybody that, you know, all of his loved ones. I'm feeling terrible, you know what I mean, to see Skinny Me lose his opportunity. And, you know, in a situation like this, an appeal takes a long time. I sat there and we watched it through the case of Max B, you know what I mean, from 2009, literally probably up to 2019, you know, 2020. 9 years waiting on an appeal, you guys. Hit that like button, share this video one time. Let's go. He said, best man get the drop. You get shot with a hollow. Think I'm a game, take you under this limbo. Fuck all the aim shit, I get close. Here's a couple things. Here's a couple things, you guys. Couple things that I'm going to go over for people who either know or don't know. We're going to talk about it. Here's a couple things. Skinny Me has a group called the Murder Gang. That's the name of his association. It's literally Murder Gang. The man had clothing and emblems with logos. That's first of all. Second of all, the lyrics that Skinny Me is using, they're not vague. You're saying you're doing a close range shooting. Depending on the specifics of this case, you know, I could see how something like that would be applied. He's not denying that he's a part of the crew that just recently was charged with a whole drug conspiracy. He mentioned several members of the OBH crew as well, including No Breaks Bras, who is an original Block Hustlers group member, and he's actually locked up. So right here, he's not denying his ties to OBH either. The face tattoos. If we're looking at this completely, the face tattoos are going to hurt him in court, even if he wears a suit and tie. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's wearing a suit and tie, none of this stuff is going to work in his favor. And it's hard to prove that just artistic expression, you know what I mean? And the hook, bloody with my bloodos. Listen to what I'm saying here. Why are you saying blood if you're not a blood member? You know what I mean? You're part of the Murder Gang. You're associated with the original Block Hustlers. Then you mean it in, they're saying, then you mean this in a literal sense. This is how they're looking at the lyrics. They're like, this guy is not saying he's affiliated with this group of individuals. He's actually saying that he partakes in this type of activity. This is how they're looking at the lyrics, you guys. And it's really blurring the lines of the artistic creativity, which is a really big topic of what we're speaking on in this conversation about Skinny Me. You know what I mean? Have y'all ever heard of freedom of speech? You know what I mean? So let's get into this. So they're thinking that he's more than happy to engage in acts of violence in a literal sense, bloody with my bloodos. They're going to have all types of shit here, you guys. Gang experts to make Skinny look crazy. And the fact that they gave Skinny Me life plus 25 years, that's like when Arab said the lyric, my man got life plus 10 years. So when he died, he still owed the judge 10 years. You know what I mean? Low had a lyric. That was on Blow 3. He said it on Blow 3 with Dark Low, the song that was allegedly heard by Jay-Z. You know what I mean? And to me, you guys, it's kind of crazy that Jay didn't grab them. But the same reason Jay-Z dropped Beanie Siegel is the same reason he would not sign Arab. Y'all, these guys are too real. Ab is too real, just like Beans. I don't even want him in the building. Send security. They have Beanie removed. Beanie went to a Jay-Z concert, stood in the front row, and Jay-Z had him escorted out. Beanie Siegel said he said this out of his own mouth. Jay-Z doesn't really want anything to do with the street dudes. You know what I mean? He's running around with Beyonce and shit like that, you guys. So I was tagged in a post today by one of Skinny Me's relatives, and he said they did him dirty. The witness been in jail since last week. They didn't let him testify, but showed his video. They used lyrics from a rap song and his music to convict him unlawfully. This is systematic racism in CJC. Was and still at an all-time high. So this post right here says right there that they didn't let him testify when he was in jail. So that means, a lot of people, when they get called to testify in a case, they usually avoid it. Nobody wants to go and testify in a case. They avoid it as much as possible. This man is in custody. He should be subpoenaed to testify and have no choice but to testify. But of course, they don't want to use that. If anything's going to help Skinny Me, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. The first thing they did was say, isn't Skinny Me affiliated with Dark Low the Crook? Share this video one time if you mess with the channel. Like this video. The first thing they did was say, isn't Skinny Me affiliated with Dark Low the Crook? The guy who got charged with intimidating a witness. And if I'm keeping it too real for you, just by telling you what the boys are thinking about these guys when they're watching the videos and they're hearing the lyrics and they're seeing everything, if I'm keeping it too real, log up out of here, because this ain't for you. Go watch some other shit. But when they saw Skinny Me with Dark Low, and when they heard about this, the witnesses, they look back to what's happened. They're like, oh, Dark Low the Crook. That's his homie. That's his bloodo. He got charged with witness intimidation. We are not going to let the witness testify here. Let him do a video. Just him. Just have him show up to the court in a Zoom interview. You know why? Because him showing up to the court is a high likelihood of something happening to him, right? Because of the track record. That's how they look on it. That's how they look at it. That's how they look at it, man. Because him showing up to court is a high likelihood of something actually happening to him because of the track record and the viciousness of the people they're with. You know what I mean? Mind you, he's rocking with OBH. He got caught up. Not at the same time. He was actually caught up prior. Skinny got caught up prior to the federal indictment. And when Skinny Me got caught, he said, let Ab know. Let A know they came and got me. Also, I was growing out my dread so I could go on the run. I believe he also said, I'm going in 50,000 strong. He also said, I wish I had diesels. Why didn't you let me put my diesels on? If they would have let him rock his diesels, he would have rocked them for his whole entire bid. because who's going to take them? Which inmate is going to steal Skinny Me's diesels? I believe he was referencing the actual sneakers. I'm pretty sure he was. Skinny Me said he had 50 grand. The DA in court is saying, where did you get the 50 grand from? You didn't sell any records. This rubs them the wrong way off bat. The DA is looking at it like, we're going to make an example out of this guy. Not only are we going to give him life, you know what I mean? But I believe, I believe the death penalty is out. I believe the death penalty is gone in Pennsylvania, but we're going to give him the death penalty without saying it. We'll give him natural life plus put 25 years on top of it just to ensure he never sees daylight. And not just because of the cockiness he displayed when our agents took him into custody, and the fact that a witness is scared to testify speaks volumes to the individuals we are dealing with. It's hard for Skinny Me's lawyer to do his job because they went to YouTube and all these different sites and they already painted a picture of him. Share this video one time if you rep with the channel. They went right to YouTube, World Star, whatever website, big major website that puts the videos up. You know what I'm saying? And they made a predetermined decision on him. And plus all the other factors. Witnesses scared to testify. I'm not coming to court. I don't want to see Skinny Me in that courtroom. I'll send you a video, but make sure my sentence gets reduced. But anyways, it's kind of hard for the lawyer, for Skinny's lawyer, to paint him as just a musician. Again, he's boasting that he's going in 50 grand strong, and the DA is looking at him as a predicate felon. And no, it's not the Tony Yayo album. Don't get excited. It's not what I'm talking about. The same way they did Casanova 2 times dirty. Oh, he's proud of being a 2-time felon? He was just released from jail. He hasn't even been out that long in society. And he was just released from his last case. So why should we have leniency? That's what they're saying. They look at him as a threat to society. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Skinny Me is actually not a threat to society. Skinny Me isn't running up on any civilians. And you know what I'm saying? And that excuse, you know what I mean? That excuse doesn't even work because they're like, well, if my op slides on me, what should I do? Their response, you shouldn't have ops. You shouldn't have ops. You should work a 9 to 5. But let's be real. Violent offenders can't get employed. So again, where is this 50,000 from? He obviously doesn't have a job. Well, he's claiming he's a part of an organization that was recently caught up in conspiracy, and they're going to tie in the whole murder gang label. It's hard, man. Uncle Murda got the same shit. You know what I mean? Uncle Murda got the same shit, you guys. He went through it, almost changed his name to UM. But he was trying to explain to people and show people he wasn't a bad guy. Well, then why isn't your name Uncle Ralph? Or how about C. Murda? His name played a major part in the reason, you know what I mean, why an appeals court isn't going to take him serious. Any rapper with murder in their name is not going to do well in the justice system. Look at Murder Inc. Oh, that's right. They're not Murder Inc. anymore. You know what they're called now? They're called the Inc. 50 Cent took the G out of G Unit. You know what I mean? He took the G out of G Unit, for crying out loud. Even that was too gangsta. They're just called the Unit now. What unit are they? Well, you can leave that up to interpretation, but we're not G Unit. Now, these rappers, they smarten up. That's why he said, I'm not gang gang. That's why 50 Cent made it in the song. I think it was just, I am not gang gang. I do not gang bang. Right. That's exactly what 50 did. And he repeats it in interview after interview after interview. But look at that. I guess if we see G Unit Productions, right? We see G Unit Productions. We'll get into that in a second. Because they've really changed all the merch. There's no Gorilla Unit on there. You know what I mean? Gorilla Unit, it's a brazen term. He doesn't want it on his merch. Yeah, when you watch Stars, it says G Unit Productions. Listen to his lyrics. Listen to his lyrics, guys. Because he saw, like, we got to make people think G Unit is a record label, not a gang. 50 actually had the foresight, you know what I mean, to leave all that extra stuff out of it. And you think he don't miss saying chichu. You think he doesn't miss saying chichu. I don't remember the last time that came out of his mouth. Anybody, give me a second. I'll wait. I don't even think he said it at the Super Bowl. Huh? I don't remember the last time it came out of his mouth. What happened to the chichu? You don't hear it anymore. And you never will. You never will. Because Tony Yayo and Lloyd Banks were more than likely instructed to do the same. Listen, the feds are watching. We're not doing the chichu. We're not doing it. The feds are watching. We're just the Unit now. Buy our hats. It'll say the Unit clothing brand. It won't say G Unit. It used to, you remember? 50 smartened up, you guys. It's called progression. He was young and dumb at one point, but he is not anymore. Hit that like button. Share this video one time. Everybody in here. But back to Skinny Me. The feds probably said, let's watch this video chapel call in court. My guy told me it was Bloodo, though, which featured Little Johnny. Skinny Me's relative said, I'm so hurt, bro. I cried so hard. Not because of the situation at hand, but because I watched how they cheated, how they railroaded you from the FBI to the lion-ass cop to the judge, not letting the witness testify. They put everything in place for you to lose. Absolutely. First of all, the case, it was tried in Philadelphia, right? I feel bad for whoever catches a case in Philly. If he would have caught that in any other state, he would have had a chance. There's just something about Philly where the legal system is designed to fuck you. Meek Mill is a perfect example. He wasn't even talking crazy on records. You know what I mean? He wasn't even talking crazy on records like they're saying about Ab and Skinny Me. All that First Amendment rights to freedom of speech goes out the window in Philly. I don't know if this is a thing. You know, Jay-Z was working on it, you know, when it goes into effect, or I don't know if it didn't when Skinny was being tried, but using rap lyrics and videos that, again, one could say that they're in some situations very vague. He's just being artistic. That's a song, but these are good questions. Bobby Shmurda indicted on lyrics. Arab was. You know who wasn't? Max B. And you know why? He sang about females. There's not one Max B song where he says something along the lines of, I walked up, took his rollie, hit up my Cody. Because then they would have said, oh, he likes to steal wristwatches. He would have made it a lot easier for them, which is ultimately what Max B is in jail for. Stealing, they're saying that they set up a dude and stole a bunch of his shit. Then it resulted in a manslaughter. You know what I mean? So if Max would have rapped like that, it would have made it a lot easier. But ultimately Max is in jail. And he's going to be out in 2025. So free the big Avel. Now imagine if you rapped about that on Public Domain 3. They would have brought it up. You know what I mean? You kind of don't really have the complete protection. Kanye West has freedom of speech, but not Skinny Me. Kanye West can go on TV and say whatever he wants. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Let's be real here. Is Kanye West in jail? Is Donald Trump in jail? No. And they never will be, because there's a difference. Freedom of speech only applies to certain people. It doesn't apply to people like Skinny Me and Arab. Arab, what does that stand for? His name stands for assault rifle. Uncle Murda. You're calling Uncle Murda for the Rod Diggs case? He was a character witness in the Rod Diggs case, and instead of listening to what he had to say, they just painted him out as a monster because of his name. It hurt him more than it helped him. Let's be real, you guys. He was probably better not even showing up. And for the people who are saying he took the stand, clean your ears. Clean your ears out. He took the stand as a character witness. And you know what? I don't think there's anything that would have held Uncle Murda back from taking that stand because of his connection with Ra. You know what I mean? But ultimately, they probably had him, so what's your name? What does it mean? How did you get that name? All that type of different shit, making it something it isn't supposed to be. So clean your ears out. He took the stand to be a character witness. For those of you who are going to be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Uncle Murda didn't take the stand. You know what I mean? Listen, I know what I'm talking about. We don't even need to get into all the other negative shit. You can say whatever you want about me. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this internet shit, when it comes to this blogging shit, when it comes to reporting this hip-hop news. So the fill-in on Skinny Me is he was railroaded by the district attorney, by the FBI. They didn't have a lot of evidence to go on, so they tried to paint the picture and use lyrics from songs. And he was sentenced to life plus 25 to 50 years. See, I don't even know how this is possible. I don't even know how this shit is possible. Let's be real about it, man. I don't know how this is possible. I'm about to get into it. Hit that like button. Share this video one time. I don't even know how this is possible, and I'm about to explain it. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. You're watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star Podcast. You are watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star Podcast right now, you guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Make sure you share this video one time. Share this video with at least one friend. We're getting right back into it. See, I don't even know how this is possible, because here's the thing. Was he charged with multiple murders? Because a murder sentence, you can do 25 just for the murder. Let's say you got a murder and a manslaughter. Did Skinny get charged for both? Because that's the only way I can see this playing out. You get the 25 for the body and the 20 for the manslaughter. But unless he was charged with those two things, that number doesn't even add up. The life expectancy of a male is 80 years in America. So that's life. You give him life plus 25 to 50. Again, the average life expectancy is what? 82 years old. So I don't get it. How does that number even make sense? How did they come out with the number? It's like they just pulled it out of their ass and said, oh, this is appropriate. Is that really? What did he have? Multiple bodies? Was he charged with multiple bodies? Because that's the only way it would make sense Or did they what? Did they link him to OBH and said he was a part of the conspiracy? We didn't get him on any violence. We didn't get him on any violent offense, but we got him on the gang RICO. I'm curious to know, was this extra sentence for a violent offense or just because he's skinny me? You know what I'm saying? Just because they watched the chapel call and they didn't like when he said he was in jail and jail was sweet and the food was great. Is that what it was? Those lyrics? Jail was sweet, food was great. Look at the lyrics, Your Honor. He's saying our prison system is a joke and our food tastes great. He's saying he runs the jail. He's comfortable. That could have been why. Maybe because of that lyric and the realness of that video. Maybe that was too much for them. They said, oh no, this is the kind of music this dude makes. He's making fun of the judicial system and the jail system. He's talking about us. He's poking fun at us. We're going to show him he's not invincible today. We have to prove a point. This is my right. This is what Jay-Z is fighting for. Do we live in America? Huh? Is this a different country? What happened to the Constitution? I know it's a big word. You want me to spell it for you? Constitutional rights of Americans. What happened to those? Is it a myth? It's the same reason gun owners can have a gun, because it says so in the Constitution. No, I'm not an animal. It's my right. So because he's a repeat offender, he can't own a firearm. Now that's unconstitutional. But on the flip side, you're going to use it against him. Oh, we found a loaded .22 caliber. Just using an example. So on the flip side, yeah, it's easy for you to say something like that. And know why he had that? Because he couldn't legally get one like every other American, because the odds were stacked against him, because he was a felon. No other reason than that. No other reason than that. Now, Skinny's family advised the young bulls moving on. Skinny's family advised the young bulls moving in a certain way to learn the laws, go down to the CJC, and see how they're railroading people. The Criminal Justice Center is not it's not a thing of innocent until guilty. You're guilty. You have to prove your innocence. You're guilty and you have to prove your innocence. Can you believe that shit? They found him guilty on conspiracy and he has no Cody at all. They found him guilty. They found him guilty on conspiracy and they gave him 25 years conspiracy and he has no Codys. Go down to the CJC, sit in a couple homicide trials or attempted murders, and see how they get railroaded. See how the judge, when they know the assistant district attorneys is up against good attorneys, they didn't allow his witness to testify. And his witness is up in CFCF right now. But they were able to play multiple statements of a witness on State Road. You got the right to face your accuser, but not in Philly. This is a lot to talk about right here, you guys. This is a lot to talk about right here. Now, in the Criminal Justice Center, that's the CJC for everybody, as well as the federal building, they're going to do what they want. And that's just what I witnessed in CJC. They didn't have no evidence on my little cousin, is what Skinny Me's family continued to say. Yet, they gave him life plus years. Listen to what he said right there, man. And here's the thing, yo. I feel his pain. He is absolutely right. What he is saying is nothing new. You are guilty until proven innocent. You know what I mean? Especially, apparently, in Philly, from what I've witnessed with Arab having that uphill battle. 2 uphill battles, man. It's completely ridiculous. You know what I mean? Here's the thing with conspiracy charges, though, you guys. We don't have to actually prove that you got someone or sold numerous bundles of drugs. We don't have to actually prove it. You and your attorneys have to prove that you didn't. And you see those 12 jurors, I don't think they're going to believe you when we're done. Look at his lyrics. Look at his track record. Look at his previous charges. Look what he said when he was taken into custody. Look what he said on the video. Bloody with my blood-o. Your Honor, objection. This can't be played in court. I have a motion actually for this to be removed. Well, guess what? Too late. They played it. Skinny would have walked if one of the jurors disagreed or if it was deadlocked. He would have walked. But again, a conspiracy is the hardest charge to beat. It's because they do that when they have nothing otherwise. Conspiracy to do what? Conspiracy to sell drugs? Well, where's my drug charge? Conspiracy to murder? Where's the murder charge? Where's the body? Why is the word conspiracy in front of my charge? Because you have nothing. It's the last shit they do. Okay, murder. I either did it or I didn't. There's not, you know what I mean? There's no beating around the bush with that. I either did it or I didn't do it. That's like saying conspiracy to rain today. It's either going to rain today or it's not going to rain today. It's legal jargon bullshit that people fall for all the time. It's easy to say that to a jury and make, you know what I mean, make you look crazy. The guy isn't even in court. You have the right to face your accuser. Where's your accuser? Oh, he's on Zoom from State Road. Good one, guys. Nice. If you don't see what's going on here, you're nuts. And the rookie's asking, why didn't they go to CFCF to get his witness? They're saying, why would we spend taxpayers' dollars transporting someone from a jail facility to court when we don't have to? Why should we? Who are you going to tell us? Who are you to tell us what to do? You know what I'm saying? We don't have to do that. What's wrong with remotely doing it? We're doing what's in the Commonwealth of Philadelphia's best interest. But thanks for your suggestion. Due to the pandemic, has it occurred to you, Your Honor, that there's a shortage on buses? We can't get that. He needs an escort. There's a shortage on COs. We can't accommodate this right now. That will take longer. We don't want this to go on longer. I got an idea. Let's do a Skype or a Zoom. It's also because they're thinking, are we really going to take the word of an inmate? How credible are they? We can't allow the jury to hear that. That's what they're thinking. That's what they're thinking in this situation. They're thinking in this situation, we can't allow the jury to even hear that. We all know what happens in a lot of cases when uncredible witnesses that are not credible are brought up. You know what I'm saying? It's also because they're thinking, are we really going to take the word of an inmate? How credible are they? We can't allow the jury to hear that. It's probably his best friend from his first bid. You know what I mean? This man has been locked up in the same jails. Why would we play that? No way. Motion denied. That's why. But guess what? We will play. Guess what we will play, Your Honor? This inmate is trying to get out. This inmate is trying to get out of lockup for a few hours. You know what I'm saying? Change of scenery. We are not falling for this tactic. Everyone in jail wants, this is what they're telling them to get the motion denied. This is what they're saying. Everyone wants to get out of jail. Everyone knows he would be more than happy to pop up in court 5 or 6 hours. That's probably 5 or 6 hours, and it doesn't have to be in his cell. Of course he's going to come. He will probably drag it out longer. That's what inmates do. Let's not act brand new here, Your Honor. That's how a lawyer argues that, and he gets it denied. They're playing us. This is how they play the legal system. They spent their whole life playing the legal system and finding loopholes. We don't want him out of custody. Heck, the courtroom is not even safe. You guys hear what I'm saying? Then they're going to bring up the witness charges. What was he charged with? Violent offenses as well? Oh, too risky. A lot could go wrong. It's just too risky. We're not doing this. Play some stuff over Zoom. But why wasn't he subpoenaed? It goes back to the taxpayers, y'all. Why should the taxpayers foot the bill for this? This is your problem. To be quite honest, we don't care what he has to say. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to play it. Sounds like a personal problem, you know? The price of a gallon of gas, you know how far the institution is from the courthouse? Who do you think is paying for that? You're a repeat offender. If this was your first, maybe we considered it. And maybe if you had two attorneys, you know what I mean? You don't even want to get me into that two attorneys bit. You don't even want me to get into that two attorneys bit, y'all. Because if you have two attorneys, a second attorney is always good. It's always good to have a second set of eyes. You know what I mean? Somebody who actually spots what the other attorney doesn't see. Sometimes the first is so swamped, they overlook things that the second attorney, they call him the eagle eye. The eagle eye, that he misses certain things that he could spot. That's what they call him, the eagle eye, you guys. He gives the first attorney ideas, gives them ideas. A lot of people think, what do I have the second guy for? He's not doing shit. But realistically, he's in the back in the cut. He's doing his thing. But no, we're not doing that. You're a repeat offender. But I'm not saying that Skinny would have won if he had two attorneys, but he would have had a better chance. And an attorney for conspiracy case is like $80K. Getting two is like, you're going to run through like $250,000, you guys. You know? And so let me see here. I want to also point out, it's like, also, how are you going to cross-examine a video? It's not possible, which is a great thing for the state because it's the state versus Skinny Me. So it's a great thing for the state because they're making the defense, Skinny Me's defense attorney, they're making it damn near impossible for him to win. And they're doing it consciously. It's not a coincidence. They're doing this consciously, you guys. But it's an unspoken thing. It's like, who's really going to care about justice for Skinny Me? We can railroad Skinny Me. It's not like this is Meek Mill. You know what I mean? There's not going to be a big public outcry. You know what I mean? They know they can get away with it. If Skinny Me was Drake, do you think that shit would fly? You know what I mean? Let's be real. If Skinny Me was Drake, do you think that would fly? Exactly. It's sad to say, but it all depends on the person. This could also help with his appeal, though, I want to point out, because of the fact that he couldn't cross-examine. An appeal, like I said earlier, an appeal could come late, though. It could come as many as 15 years into the bid. You got to hit the law library. This is my thoughts. You got to hit the law library. No chow, no rec time. You're in the law library. They know this damn well, and they do it in such a way that they make it so that you lose hope. Who am I kidding? They start thinking, I got life plus. Are you kidding me? This is how they break you down and get you thinking down and wondering if you can even afford an appeal, forcing you to have family put up their houses and throw their life upside down. It gives you a sense of hopelessness. You know what I mean? And I just want to say, because Skinny's family also said this is going on every day in the CJC. Who can cross-examine a video? Once you see a video playing, how can you cross-examine that? If he came down there, who would have known what he would have said? He could have said, I don't remember that, or that's not the person. Yeah, but he's too scared to do that. And that's why he's not available. He would rather do it over video. He doesn't want to look skinny me in his eyes. And yes, technically, he is unavailable. And that's what, what county over there? Where does the county line end? That's another jurisdiction, they're saying. We have no say so. Hey, the county won't release him. The state won't release him. They will pull shit out of their ass when they didn't even request it. They'll say they won't release him. What are we going to do? That ain't no good faith effort. Let's be real. They don't do shit in good faith. There's not good faith efforts being made in the courtroom unless it's a non-violent offense. Even fraud cases, they don't do that shit. I wanted to come on here and speak about Skinny Me. I wanted to come on here and speak about Lil Durk. They both have a couple crazy situations. I'm feeling like overly just upset about what happened to Skinny Me. You know what I mean? Everything that happened with all the dreams and aspiration that he had. But we're not going to lose faith. We're not going to lose hope. That's something I never do on this channel. Y'all are watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. And I want you guys to remember that. Make sure y'all tap in for my episode tomorrow. I'm doing an episode tomorrow afternoon. Make sure y'all are tapped in. Peace.